So I just found out that Muhammad Ali died, and it kind of sent me into this place of like just thinking about what he meant and who he was. So it brought me. I mean, he was a boxer. He was very vocal, part of the Black Power movement. Very instrumental and in my experience, really carrying this question of masculinity. So I think it triggered a lot within me because I when I was 18, I enrolled in the Marines, and it was the most weirdest way that I did it. I met this recruiter through high school who, like, some of my friends were joining in there, and then they told me, oh, you should come, and I ended up going, and at this moment in my life, I was going through this process where I was trying to figure out myself and who my sexual identity. I was looking for a sense of belonging, a sense of somebody, and I was in a very, very difficult place in my life. So I remember going with them and training with them, like, for about 5-6 hours in the weekends, and then during like 2 or 3 times throughout the day, we would run for like a very, very long way down the 6th Street Bridge, and then go back around towards the Sears Tower, and then come back to the recruitment center. And I think I remember that I joined because I wanted to have this feeling of like discipline. And at the moment, I understood it as discipline. But now that I'm growing up, I understand that it wasn't a sense of discipline that I was looking for. It was, in reality, it was a sense of motivation, a sense of doing something. I was and very depressed, so I was looking for something to motivate me to do something. And it was also connected to not having a place or a group of people to dedicate my time to feel like I'm providing something, I'm adding something, I have something to give. So in the moment, the recruiter came up and offered me something that felt like that. And in that moment, I think what came out of it is that the recruitment center became my family. It became what would push me to do things, to go and like bike and run, and at the same time, I was in a place in my life where I was looking for a sense of masculinity, of what it meant to be a man. As a queer person, a queer hombre, I am baby queer. Like, I was trying to figure out what it meant for me to be a man, and part of that discipline was also that, and identifying through that discipline my limits of like masculinity and what it means to be tough and what it means to act tough and act manly. And that in some ways provided me a false sense of masculinity that I think at that moment in age, it completely fulfilled what I needed to feel. So then the moment when I enrolled, I remember I was in, damn, that's a long ass name for the club. The moment when I enrolled, I remember I was in we had just come back from a run, and the recruiter in Boyle Heights, the recruiter came up to me. He told me like, oh, we just got a call from whoever, and they told us that like we need to sign the paperwork today. Everybody's signing it, so we want to make sure that all of you go together. Take the test together and everything, so we want to keep you all together. And it's like this sense of like all of you are together on this, and also it's a pressure to move forward. And they told me, you need to call them now, and you need to sign the paper now. And by the time I was 18 years old, so I could enroll if I wanted to by myself without necessarily the permission of my mom or my sister. And I remember thinking about my sister and my mom a lot, and then thinking like, should I just sign the paper and tell them after, or like give them a call? So I decided to give them a call, and I remember feeling a sense of shame and asking the recruiter like to give me time to give them a call. And then I called them, and And I talked to my mom first, and then no, I talked to my sister first. No, it was my mom, and then my mom is all like, I could tell that she didn't want me to do it, and I can tell that, but because we were in this place in my life where I was coming out as queer, as bisexual at the time, and I had put my mom through this process of her feeling that she wasn't supportive as a parent. So she, in reaction to that, she was pushing herself to show me that she supported me in anything that I did and loved me in every way. So whatever I wanted, I would get, and whatever, and the reason for that was because she wanted to demonstrate that she cared for me. And this was again like through a couple of like suicide attempts and stuff like that. So my mom was pushing herself to show me that she cared for me. So in this situation, I gave her a call, and then she said, "Vos lo que tú quieras hacer," you know. And then my sister has always been like my second mother, so I had to talk to her, and I was nervous about that as well. So I remember she told me the same thing, with a lot more hesitation than my mom. But then I just went ahead and signed. I signed the paper, and the agreement was that I would go to school, and then during the summer I would come back and go to boot camp for the whatever, like 3 or 4 months, or whatever breaks, I would come back and go to boot camp. So that was the agreement. But then I got up to UC Santa Cruz, and I started learning about people of color and our struggle. And then I bumped into this video of Muhammad Ali on YouTube. At the time, it was like MySpace, Facebook was trying to come in and stuff like that. But I ended up looking at this video, and he starts talking about getting recruited, and how he said like, no, I don't want to be recruited. Like, why would I go fight a war overseas when I'm fighting a battle here every single day? Why would I go fight for somebody else's rights when my rights are denied here every single day? So it put me into a place, and it forced me. I mean, I could say that it just forced me to reanalyze my like, who is my enemy, but I think in a more deep sense, me joining the military was about figuring out what we meant, like, quote unquote, we, who is we, and forcing me to figure out who am I in the process, and how do I belong in the we. What do I have to offer in the we? So when I saw this video, it completely shifted my understanding of my reality, because my understanding of my reality, my understanding of my identity as a queer man, my understanding of who is my family, who is my community, who am I fighting for, what am I fighting for. So in this video, in this like minute video, completely shifted the direction of my life, and pushed me to question who are we together? Who do I mean by we? Who am I? What do I have to offer? What is this battle? And what am I fighting for? So in this video, although it was so short, it had such a tremendous impact in the way I view my world, and the way I view myself and my responsibilities. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, because I think it's a conversation about like queer identity for me. It's a conversation about masculinity. It's a conversation about colonization and conquest, imperial power, the way that, and I see it, and it completely shapes the way that I do work now, and the youth that I work with, in understanding that during my time growing up, I was looking for those things of acceptance, of community, of self in the world, and how easy it was for somebody to turn it into a personal benefit, and a benefit for something that wasn't part of me. Then I understand in some ways, not all of it, because every generation is different, but in some ways, my responsibility of what I need to offer. and how I need to offer it, and how I need to present, and how essential it is to create community, how essential it is to create something more important and more bonding than family itself, and how essential it is to build everything on love, and understanding that in order to fight for something, you need to learn what it is. You need to learn to love it, and you need to learn your location in that history, and what it is that you have to offer. So I think I definitely wanted to share that. I think it was a tremendous and very powerful moment in my life, and I was thinking about writing all this, but then I'm like, whenever I'm thinking about stuff like this, and I end up talking to myself about it, just like I'm doing right now, like I'm in my car driving somewhere, and I just talk to myself about it. And I thought, I should record it sometimes, and then kind of play it back and see what it's like. But yeah, don't text and drive. But whatever. I made it to Milton Cells, my besties. But yeah, all right. Thanks for watching. Bye.